Hello, welcome to the Late Mike Show with Dan and Sarah. I'm a bit chill tonight because I've left it all up to you to plan. It's going to be fun, though. Do you want to explain what...
I hope so. I've never planned one before and really have no interest in planning podcasts, but Dan didn't, so...
I didn't.
Yeah.
I said, you're a co-host.
No, this is Daniel's project.
True, but you're with me all the time, so I thought,
I just asked AI to give us some interview questions that were more like silly, I guess.
Yeah.
Or on the comedy side. So it came up, I cut them all up, so that's why I don't have an actual piece of paper. And these are just the titles of, it gave me title and then 5 questions.
So this is like the topic of the questions.
This is the topic of the questions. There are going to be 5 fake deep career questions / success questions, character improv inspired questions, just plain weird, absurd opinions and hot takes, ridiculous life questions, and comedic icebreakers.
I know that you've prepared this, but have you actually read them all?
I think, because I did...
I haven't seen
I
any
cut
of
them
these.
out, so like I glanced at a couple, but
you haven't
I haven't like actually read them.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of them at all.
They're all in this hat. I folded them and cut them out. So we'll each just pick one and ask the question.
You pick one, then I pick one.
Yeah.
All right.
And then we'll just chuck them on the floor so we don't get the same one.
Before we dive straight into this, though, how are you?
Tired. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm also tired.
Dan got a lion this morning.
I feel like the last couple of episodes we've done is we've had a topic and we've jumped straight into that topic. We haven't actually spoke about
Freddie's in here today.
How's your week been?
Well, Dan, you've worked away, so
hard. It sucked.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get on to
the episode. It doesn't suck. I love like spending time with the kids and stuff. It's hard.
It's more difficult.
Yeah.
Been down in Cornwall.
I don't get a lot of downtime.
It's Saturday night currently, and on Monday I'm working away again for a couple of nights, and then
the next 3 weeks.
Yeah. So.
Anyway,
this
let's
is commitment.
Have fun.
But this is commitment, isn't it? Just barely here, but we're still doing podcasts together.
Yeah.
It's a nice way to spend time together. I think.
Guess so.
Yeah.
I'd like to watch some movies or something.
Yeah.
But
we did watch that movie recently, though. We watched a couple of movies.
I kind of thought, like, I was invested in them because I was invested in the story,
yeah.
but I did kind of think that they were trash.
Really?
Like, the acting's
what
not
was it
great.
Called? I can't remember.
Thinning.
The Thinning, yeah.
The acting's not great.
I was like hooked.
I liked the story, but like some of it is just like no fucking way.
I don't know if anyone's seen The Thinning, but it's actually the story. I saw a comment on YouTube because we watched it on YouTube.
Yeah.
YouTube Premium free trial. That's how you do it.
Yeah.
And it says like 12 out of 10 for story, 7 out of 10 for acting, and 10 out of 10 for twists. Did you notice any twists? There was a couple. But...
There were a couple, but it was all like, some of it is just like, that wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
It was
Why
good,
is
though.
Fucking Logan Paul kissing all these ladies?
Yeah.
Anyway.
He accepted that movie to kiss. Anyway.
Shall we jump in?
Yes.
I'll ask the first question.
Yeah.
All right.
Wait, what if I pick the question for you to read and then you pick the one for me to read?
All right. Pick a question. Careful, they're unfolding a bit. And I'm actually going to give you the hat now because you're next.
Yeah.
Okay, Daniel.
I'm actually nervous because I don't think I've ever been interviewed before. Like, I've done a couple of
This is actually a pretty good one too for you. And I'm gonna preface this question because yesterday we did some maintenance to the house. I guess I would call it maintenance. We just switched a door handle.
Oh, right,
It ended up being more difficult than it needed to be. But Dan always finds, anytime that we do a project, that it just does not go his way.
Oh, something about this house. It's just against me.
Which everyday object is secretly out to get you?
I don't know about every... Well, my mind has immediately turned to this podcast, but it's not every single day.
Yeah.
But something about setting up these mics with my laptop to get the audio, everything, and the camera. Tonight is like the first time it's actually gone first time within minutes. It normally takes half an hour to set up, and I'm furious. And then the editing afterwards, I get corrupt files. I get
but like
all this stuff.
Not the podcast.
Okay, so
like,
everyday item that's against me.
Yeah.
Well, it's tricky. That's what I mean. That's what's in my head. So
I know something, but it's not like just an individual thing for you. The kids' toys. You do not look down when you walk for some reason, and you fall like you fell in here because you tripped over a box, and the way that you fall, you're just like, oh!
we got wooden floors here. There's a mat under us now.
A carpet.
Or a rug, not a full carpet. And I squeezed past you. I didn't want to hit your mic, but my foot slipped on the solid floor, and I did the spit, so I had to literally.
So maybe it's just your legs. The
literally had to
just
jump.
Your legs.
I had to jump onto my stomach on the floor, so I didn't damage anything.
Or your alarm clock that's always out to get you.
Yeah. Right.
Or me.
Yeah. Does anyone with an iPhone use it for their alarm, and it starts loud for like 3 seconds and then goes silent?
Well, we figured out how to turn that off. I figured out how to turn that off.
Yeah, I changed the settings, but that was months ago, and it's gone back to how it was.
It hasn't. You just don't wake up.
Oh. Okay, but in the past,
breaks me up.
In the past, it did. There is a setting to get rid of it.
There is a setting to get rid of, and I don't know why it's even there. You'll have to look it up because I genuinely don't remember.
Yeah, stupid.
You have to go in and take something off. Yeah.
It's like, da-da-da.
Or it just doesn't go off because it thinks you're awake, or something like that. I don't know. I don't know.
Ridiculous. But yeah, I guess tripping over things. Small things on the floor is out to get me.
Yeah.
All right, you pick one for me to read.
Is that just one? Yeah. I mean, they're folded.
This is a difficult way of doing. This is a silly idea for me.
Uh-huh.
All right, this one is okay. This could be fun, but you got to think about music quickly in a way. If your life had a theme song, what would play every time you entered a room?
For some reason, the first song that popped into my head was Batman.
What?
So the first thing that entered into my brain was Batman.
All right, what other songs?
I don't know. I can't. A theme song for like every time I walk into a room. I'd probably pick something just that I like because I have to listen to it.
Doesn't have to be a
time.
Theme song. Like
something about
any song in the world.
Barnes Courtney, something probably.
Which one though? Now give me that fire.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Or 1999.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think one of those. So you have one. Oh, because this is not a simple question, but a short answer question. So I'll ask.
Move, bitch! Get out the way.
Ludicrous. No.
As you enter a room every single time.
What was the first song that popped into your head? Because I don't know why.
Move, bitch.
Was it?
Yeah, just because it was comedic.
Mine was Batman.
Answer. I don't know. I guess I'm really into WWE. So if it's like a song that, like, as I open the door and walk in the room, like a WWE entrance song, maybe.
How about The Office? What if it had to be like a theme song of a show or something?
Probably The Office because it's my ringtone.
It is your ringtone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which has made me forget that it's from The Office because it's gone off so many times. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When I first set it, it's because I
liked The Office.
I liked it from The Office, but now it's just like, shut the fuck up.
I can't stand the theme song of The Office now. Like it's not nostalgic anymore because I watch The Office to fall asleep every night.
Making sure it's on silent.
When the theme song comes on and I'm trying to fall asleep to The Office, it's like.
Yeah, or when you're falling asleep to The Office, and I'm still awake, and then the new episode starts. Yeah. I look, who's ringing me? So maybe I need to change it.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe like I'd go for The Office, but if I wanted to, my friend has the cricket club that started in his garden. My friend started a whole club from us friends playing for his birthday in his garden, and we'd go into his garage when it was your turn to bat, and then we'd play our chosen song to come out like WWE. I'm trying to think what mine was. That song was like, everybody jump, 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 jump.
Isn't it just called Jump?
Maybe. It was that because there was like 20 people and everyone's going like involved in it. So as I walked down, everyone starts jumping. It was class.
Yeah.
I think if you did that every day walking into a room,
nobody's jumping.
Yeah. All right, next question then. You pick it for me because
because that's too much.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
I will hand you the hat now though.
Yeah.
Oh, I got two. Great. Daniel.
Yeah.
You have to give a TED talk right now with zero prep. What nonsense are you going to ramble about?
Does that have to be nonsense or something that I actually know?
I don't know. It says, what nonsense do you ramble about?
I work with radon, don't I? So it'd probably be a seminar about radon gas.
Yeah, that would suck.
Yeah.
That would suck.
Or how to...
I would leave.
How to create a failing podcast.
Does anybody else have that? Like, if your partner works in, like, a niche industry that's, like, pretty stagnant, I would say. Like, it's right there. Yeah. That's the one. Like, nothing really changes with radon. Like, it's there. You know what it is. You know how to treat it. But for the last 5 years, I've been hearing the same lecture about what radon is, how to treat it, and all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean...
Does anybody else have that with their partner where you're just like, oh my God, talking about work again?
But when that's...
Like when it's teaching or something, I feel like you're talking about, oh, this one student did this today, or we're learning about this today.
Yeah.
But when it's just one topic...
Yeah, but it's what you're doing every day, and that's what's fresh in your mind. Like, my friend who's a singer recently has become...
that's interesting.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is he like talks about music all the time because that's his life, but he's recently started doing some scaffolding.
Yeah.
And he was just chewing our ear off about scaffolding, wasn't he? Because he's like, that's what's in his brain.
Yeah,
he's
that's
like,
true. But it was interesting because I haven't heard it for 5 years. So like, yeah. And if I still worked at the eye hospital, I'm sure it wouldn't be interesting anymore.
Yeah, but you'd be telling me about patients that you've seen with different types of eye issues.
Eventually it's going to all be the same, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that question? Oh, what TED Talk would you say? Would you do?
Give me the hat.
All right. Oh, this could be a fun one.
Uh-oh.
Because you love conspiracy theories.
Oh, God.
But let's rephrase that. You love, like...
I'm not a conspiracy theorist.
But you find it...
Theorist?
You find it entertaining watching people deep dive into things.
Yeah.
And talk about things. Not like you think the Earth's flat.
No, I don't.
Anyway, what conspiracy theory do you not technically believe, but kind of do?
I don't know. Like maybe some Mandela effects, but I don't think that's a conspiracy theory.
That's weird though. The Mandela effect is so weird.
It is weird. But some of them I think companies are faking. Maybe that could be the conspiracy. Like Fruit of the Loom.
It's Fruit the Loom, isn't it?
I don't know. I don't know what it's called.
Anyway,
it was a childhood. They made underwear. I mostly remember them making underwear.
I know,
but they probably did make T-shirts.
Well, I know them for making like the cheapest T-shirt ever.
Yeah, and it's that their logo had a cornucopia.
I don't know what that is.
Okay, well, you're used
I remember it being like a fruit bowl.
Yeah, with like a basket on the end.
Oh, maybe.
Like a cornucopia.
I don't know it enough. But the other one
I feel like they're lying because they said that there was never a cornucopia, but then...
Surely there's evidence.
Nobody's found any evidence, but like, I don't know. Maybe that's it.
Like the Monopoly...
Fruit of the Loom is lying to you.
The Monopoly guy.
No monocle.
Yeah, I know, but even like in Ace Ventura with Jim Carrey... There's a guy in a suit with a monocle, and he goes, "It's the Monopoly guy." So that movie has literally based a 2-minute character on the Monopoly guy wearing a monocle, and that was in the 1999.
But I don't think that's an interesting one. If I had to like a conspiracy theory,
I thought you were going to talk about another Mandela effect.
Maybe something about what is it, Area 51? That there are aliens there. Yeah, I don't believe in it, but I definitely could believe in it.
Have you ever seen any videos around Area 51?
Yeah.
So like the people that live there.
Yeah.
They're talking about aliens like it's birds in the sky, like it's so normal, like they're everywhere.
That. Yeah.
So like in the towns where they live right next to it, it's so normal to them. But whether that's just whether they've actually seen anything or not, I don't know. But
I feel like I grew up next to...
Oh, Freddie, stop scratching.
Stop.
Shaking the laptop and everything.
I grew up next to Salem, which is Witch City.
Oh, so, yeah, of course.
Like, people in the area
Freddie!
do tend to believe
our dog's shake. If you're not watching, our dog just came up to Sarah's mic and just shook.
People tend to believe in like witchcraft and things like that where I'm from because we're next to Salem.
But you'll have like loads of horoscope readers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because it's branding.
So I'm wondering if maybe that's the same with Area 51.
Yeah, probably.
Like they live next door, not right next door, but like in the
closest
area of Area 51, and that's what they're going to
base diners and restaurants on aliens and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Going off of this though, I definitely believe that there are aliens out there.
Oh yeah, I definitely believe in it.
But I don't necessarily think they're here.
See, I could believe that.
I think if they are here, this is like the dumbest sentence ever probably. If aliens are here or they've been here or they're living amongst us, I think that they have turned humans into how we are.
Well, yeah.
But, do you know what I mean? Like, if they're here, if they...
That's what people think, though. They think
that
aliens
pyramids.
helped make them pyramids. And
the pyramids and all that stuff. It's like...
But that kind of...
How you can make...
Careful with that, though, because doesn't that, like, slap religion in the face?
I don't know.
Because the conspiracy theories that I've heard, anyway, are, like, people in, not primitive times, but, like, back in, what is it, 1 BC? I don't know.
1 BC. 1000 BC or
1000 BC?
I don't know.
No, that's before Christ. We want AD, after death. So whatever that year would be, the first AD year when...
Okay.
Yeah, Christ. But the people before that were thinking, like, gods and stuff.
Yeah.
But they're actually aliens. So they're worshipping aliens, but they're calling them gods.
I don't know.
Something like that.
I don't know. I'm not going to get into the whole religion debate, but what are stars in the sky then? If it's like, if you're only thinking about just here, you know what I mean? Like just the Earth, and there's nothing else.
There's something else.
There's got to be something else. But some of these videos that pop up on my feed all the time, like the size of the Milky Way compared to like this other galaxy and all that, like you can't even fathom how big space is. Yeah. To think that we are the only planet with life.
It's my turn. I'm just handing you the hat because I already pulled it.
I think it's a bit burying your head in the sand a bit.
I agree. I think there's something else out there.
And there's more stars than grains of sand on planet Earth, but times a billion or so.
Going on about topics that we're...
Maybe I'm the conspiracy.
Yeah.
No.
Pitch me your reality show. Title, cast, and drama level. Go.
That's loaded. That's a loaded question.
Why is it loaded?
Because you've got... Hang on, I've got to do the title. The cast.
Yeah, what kind of people, I guess. If it's a reality show.
And what? The drama?
Drama level.
How am I meant to work that out?
So like the Kardashians.
Yeah.
High drama. Shit cast. No, would there be a celebrity you'd want to follow? Or
right, okay.
It doesn't have to be like Survivor.
Okay, here's one. What about... it's in the UK. You pick a guy and a girl from every city. I think there's 68 cities though. I might be wrong with that. It might be 100.
How about just from England?
Yeah, just in England, not...
And then
not
Wales has its own, and you mix it with Scotland.
Okay, yeah. So however many are in England alone.
Yeah.
And you get a guy and girl from each of those. So the audience at home watching is national because they're rooting on their locals. Mm-hmm. And they've got to do missions each day and all that stuff. And then basically the winner is the city win a prize pot to the local council.
To the council? What are they doing it for?
Sorry, if it was if you had local celebrities from each city.
Okay.
They're not doing it for monetary gain.
I was thinking you were going somewhere else with that, but okay.
But I don't know, the aim is to find out who's the greatest city in England. Something like that.
Okay.
Shit idea. But that's just what's come to my head.
What if
the drama level
what
is
if it
high.
What if it was two people, doesn't have to be a man and a woman, just two people from each city, and you put all of them into I don't know, Mr. Beast's little city thing that he built. And you have to figure out who your match is, not match personality wise, but your match location wise. You have to figure out who else is from Bristol.
That's pretty good, but you got accents, haven't you?
Yeah, but you could be a mole person. You could put in moles and shit like that, and have people fake accents and yeah.
Yeah. This is a tough one, I'll be honest.
Yeah, it is a tough one.
We're going to go on for ages about hard questions.
Go on.
We got so many to go through. Should we go through all of them, or we'll see how it goes? See how it goes. All right. If failure wasn't an option, what ridiculous thing would you attempt? So you can't fail? Is that what it means? Failure, or you're
I was taking it as you can't fail. So what do you want to do?
What do you want to do? And no matter what, you're not going to stop until you succeed.
Oh, I took that as like, if I start something, there's no chance I'm going to fail it and I'm just going to succeed.
Right, okay. Yeah, what ridiculous thing would you attempt?
Like, where, I don't know what angle I want to go with this. Because, like, I think it would be pretty cool to dig to the center of the earth.
Why is it... Why was I thinking you were going to say skydive, even though that doesn't really make any sense, but in a way you're still going down.
Well, because, like, think of... You would probably profit off of it.
How?
Minerals.
Yeah, maybe.
And everything in there.
You think that belongs to you?
I dug the hole. Start it in the garden. It's mine.
True. You just find oil.
Yeah. Or what
You're going to get a cut of that oil, aren't you?
Or would I want to do something that's like productive for me, like in a job sense, which I just feel like that's the boring answer. Freddie, stop it.
Stop scratching your head. What ridiculous... Oh, yes. Okay, give me a different one than dig into the center of the earth, because if you did it, you're going to die anyway.
That would be failing.
If failure wasn't an option.
Yeah, it's not an option. I will not fail. I will succeed.
But one, it's all going to collapse in on you, unless you've got a ginormous hole.
But that's why people can't dig to the center of the earth, because it's not possible, because the holes keep collapsing in and it gets too hot.
Maybe we are both on different levels of the failure's not an option.
You cannot fail.
Yeah, like psychologically, you're thinking like, no matter what, I'm gonna do this.
No, I'm thinking reality.
Or
you cannot fail.
If I jump off the Empire State Building, I'm gonna land on my feet. Failure's not an option. I'm gonna land on my feet and not die.
Yeah.
That's what you mean.
Yeah.
So you can do anything.
Yeah. And dig in a hole.
Why is that the answer still though?
I don't know. Or
mine would be I'm gonna fly.
I still want to dig a hole.
That's what it has to be realistic. Surely it's got to have some realistic thing there. Otherwise, I'm gonna keep stretching my arm up until I take off and fly. I'm gonna fly like Peter Pan. Do you know what I mean? Like, if failure's no, that's not what it meant. If failure's not an option, meaning like, yeah, you're just gonna work your ass off at something, but it needs to be a ridiculous thing.
It's pretty ridiculous.
All right, fair enough. You pick another bloody question.
That's my answer.
I'm going to dig to the earth, to the center of the earth.
Okay, Daniel.
Why do you keep saying Daniel every time?
Here's your hat. You wake up in a new body every day, Freaky Friday style.
Okay.
What's the first thing you do? And who? Let's change this question a little bit, because you need to know who you're waking up as, right? Or are you just like some random?
Right. This is a difficult one, because the weird answer is to say I'd want to be a woman, to feel like, to see what it feels like to actually be a woman.
Yeah.
And then everything would just be going in.
Ew. You sure you want to say that?
Yeah, because that's what's in my head.
Okay.
That's what every guy's answer would be, to find out what it feels like the other way around. Questions
turned on you.
But then I don't know what girl I'd go for exactly.
Okay, well, you don't need
Madonna.
You don't need to name a person, but like, let's say you woke up as another dude.
But then you've got to say who the guy is. Okay.
No, just a random dude. You're just different looking.
That's not fun.
Okay.
It's more fun if you say like a celebrity, isn't it?
Oh, wait, but Freaky Friday style, you would wake up in their bed. So you would wake up somewhere else.
Yeah, so I do.
As someone else.
Who would I want to switch? I don't want to switch with anyone. But it'd
24 hours.
It'd have to be someone like really rich or something, and then just transfer myself $1 million or something. What a great answer that is. Elon Musk. Just give myself 500 million or something. You wouldn't even see it. But it'd be me, wouldn't he? We've swapped.
Yeah. So he'd be like, the fuck?
But then when we swap back, he's going to be like, something mental happened. Let's put Tesla and SpaceX to one side. I need to work on how that's a thing. And then in 10 years' time or something, we might actually be able to switch bodies. So he's a smart guy, weird guy.
He's a fucking strange dude. I don't like Elon Musk. Anyway, you can ask my question.
This isn't about liking him or not. I'm saying the guy makes differences in the world. So if he has experience swapping... Well, I'm just talking about SpaceX.
Okay.
There's rockets going up and I don't even know what he's doing. But what I mean is, he's got money and intelligence. That if he swaps bodies with me, and he wakes up here for 24 hours.
Fuck that. I've got to deal with him for 24 hours. Pick someone better, please.
But I'm talking about later on. I'm thinking about humanity here. He swaps back. He's now himself again. And he goes, what the fuck has just happened? I'm going to make a chip.
Pick a smarter person if that's what you want.
You'll be all making this political.
I'm not making it political.
You are.
I don't want to spend 24 hours with Elon Musk in your body.
I'm not thinking about you.
I am.
I don't actually want to be. I don't want to be Elon Musk for 24 hours. Imagine the stress. Imagine the amount of businesses he's got to worry about. The people.
Done. You may ask your question.
Fuck you know. This. I think this started pretty strong, and it's just taken a turn somewhere. All right. Have you ever completely made something up during a job and gotten away with it?
I don't. Like, unless it was like something small, like, oh yeah, I did do that.
I mean, you worked
fucking do it. I worked in a hospital.
You worked in the health field.
But like, I was talking.
Yeah, they're fine. Promise.
I was talking more before that, like, when I worked at an office job, like if my boss came to me and said, "Oh, have you finished that report?" You could probably tell I was lying.
So I got 5 minutes left.
Yeah, it's almost done. But I'm sure my face was beet red. I'm such a bad liar, especially to authority.
Yeah.
Like, I can't do it. It makes me cry.
You cry?
No, but like, you know that feeling, like, have you ever been reprimanded by somebody who's your superior? So like a police officer, your boss, a teacher.
No. Yeah, teacher.
It makes me like, even if I'm right, it makes me want to cry.
You're just emotional.
Yeah.
From it.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't being told off, especially by authority.
I'm sure I've lied. I'm sure,
yeah.
but I can't think of any example.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit here and say, no, I haven't.
Mine would be small lies.
Yeah, like white lies just to make the day go easier.
Yeah, nothing major that like I got away with it.
Yeah.
What's the worst advice you've ever given somebody?
Oh, God.
Move to the UK, it'll be great.
Yeah.
Just joking.
I don't know. But the thing with me is I give a lot of
unsolicited advice.
Yeah, maybe. I give a lot of advice, and I probably gave it a lot to the guy who used to work with me.
Yeah.
Who's younger than me.
Yeah.
So I was teaching him a lot. And there was a lot of things I'd tell him to do in his life that maybe I wish that I did. So he was like 22.
Yeah.
And when I was 22, like, I wish I traveled more, stuff like that. So like I'd be telling him stuff like that it wasn't like I was telling him stuff from experience of me doing those things.
Right.
So I was advising, I was saying things that I don't know for sure is the right thing to do. It's just the opposite of things I didn't like. Did that make sense?
Yeah.
So I don't know. Well, how was the question worded again?
What's the worst advice you've ever given to someone?
I don't know about. I don't say something to someone thinking this is shit advice.
Yeah.
What's something you still don't understand but pretend you do? Right on.
A lot of things with the like electronics, I guess.
With what?
Electronics.
Yeah, I've definitely got a couple of these. I cannot think, but like I know for a fact that I bullshit my way through things sometimes.
I don't have anybody to bullshit to. And who am I lying to?
No, it's to get you through conversations sometimes.
Yeah.
Rugby. Understanding the rules of rugby. I know like the basics.
Yeah, I know.
A try and a scrum. Basically, yeah, a conversion.
I feel like if I don't know something,
so I can I can have a conversation about it.
Yeah.
And in my head, I'm thinking they think he knows what he's on about, but they're probably thinking, "Fucking hell, we don't have a clue." At least I'm happy. I love rugby, but I just don't know that.
I feel like I don't pretend to know things. I feel like if I don't know, I say, "Oh."
Yeah, but I think where it comes from for me is I cannot bear the thought of somebody like having a conversation about something with me and me going, "Don't know what you're on about, mate." Like, because then that would put them in an awkward position or something. So I'm going along with it to make their day better. I'm the one struggling going through it. What's your one?
When people give me verbal directions
and
they're like, "Oh, you know that church down on Bridge Street?" And I'm like, "Yep."
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just trying to... Because I don't want them to explain even more where the fucking church is. I just want them to get over.
Yeah.
I'm going to Google how to get there. I don't need you
I get that a lot of work. So, as we said at the beginning, like I've worked down in Cornwall recently a lot. And I'll be working at the place and I'll say he'll say, oh, which way are you travelling back up now? Yeah, it's like 2.5 hours. And he'll go, yeah, you want to go up to the top here, go right, and then you'll get onto like the main road. I'm thinking, I got here without your help. You know what I mean? It's a 2.5 hour.
Get home without it.
And what you've just said, and like you said about the church and this,
yeah,
they'll say, oh, you know when you go up there and there's a pub on your left, go past that, and then there's a Tesco. I'm thinking, I've never seen that pub in my life. I don't live here. I'm 2.5 hours away.
But that's how I feel, because like I live here, yeah, but like I haven't really ventured out on my own. You pretty much drive everywhere because I haven't gotten my license yet.
But
so like,
literally what happens is they'll say that you'll go, oh yeah, cool, yeah, thanks very much. Sit before you turn the ignition on, you've already put it in your maps.
Yeah.
And you're away.
I feel like it's an older
everything
generation
they said to you was
thing.
gone. Yeah.
It's such an older generation thing.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. But it is a nice thing that has gone. I remember when I first started working like 14 years ago, and we would be in the middle of nowhere and we'd roll the window down. We'd roll Whoa. Excuse me, do you know where this is? Oh yeah. You're almost there. Keep going left, then take a right.
You get that still though.
I know, but it's something that used to happen every day for us.
Yeah.
And
you get that more when you're walking.
You don't speak to anybody these days.
Like if you're walking, people have asked me directions while walking, and that's okay. I do not like driving instructions though. Just like,
fair.
I'm going to put it in my sat nav anyway.
But the third right, I've forgotten what you've said.
Yeah, exactly. It's
yeah.
It's
Whose go is it?
I asked the question.
Did you?
Right? I still have one in my hand.
I think I asked.
I think you asked that.
I don't even remember what it was. I do not remember what I asked.
It's my turn.
How do we get onto that? Driving.
Pretending that you know something.
Oh yeah, I asked that definitely. Yeah.
I don't want this to get out of your reach. That's why I keep handing it back to you. Okay, Daniel. Have you ever been in a situation where you 100% should have died, but didn't?
Walking across the top of either Cheddar Gorge or Burlington Combe. One of those. Up on top of the cliffs.
Oh, yeah.
And I was running and I was like 5. And I ran ahead of my parents and we were with my auntie and my cousins. And my cousin would have been like 15. And he ran and grabbed me. And I can still see it now. Because I've been told the story so many times probably. Yeah. But as I look down, it's the road and there's like a lorry goes past. Think about it, no lorries go that route. They probably do.
I almost died when I was born.
Shit answer. Everyone almost died when they're born.
Yeah, but I really almost died.
Really? What do you mean?
The umbilical cord was around my neck,
you told me that.
And I was like blue.
Yeah, but everyone says that. If your brain had a voice, who would it sound like?
Me, yeah,
literally. I was thinking exactly the same thing. Do you think, like, do you hear yourself when you think, or what am I trying to ask? Maybe
there's different types of thought.
Yeah.
Some people see images in their head, and that's their thinking.
Yeah, I have that. I like going back to work again, but when I design what I'm doing, like pipe work,
right? But they don't hear themselves. They think in pictures. You can probably see pictures in your head. I can do that too, but
you might do both.
I have an inner monologue.
But I don't think I hear myself, but I guess I do. Do you actually hear yourself, or are you just like aware of your thought? So you're thinking about something in your head, but it's not like you can hear your voice going, yeah, Sarah, this is what you're thinking right now. It's just like, it's in your brain. It's just your awareness. What am I trying to say?
I don't know, because like...
I wish my fucking brain would tell me what I'm trying to say. Do I hear
myself? Not actually, because it's not actually a sound.
No, but like, people hear voices in their head.
In your head, it is a voice. Like, you can make yourself think in a voice.
I guess.
It would be the same as like talking to yourself, but it's all internal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how.
When I used to do vlogs, and like when I'm editing and stuff like that, I can imagine, I can watch the video in my head before I've even recorded anything.
Yeah.
Can you do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people can't do that. People can't picture things in their head.
Yeah, I can picture things.
It's weird.
Do you want to ask me a different question? Because that was just a dumb question.
I thought it was pretty fun. That's probably way more fun than some of them have been. That's how you think. What's the hill you're willing to die on, even though no one asked?
Things like, I don't know, like podcast. I do watch some podcasts, but they're usually like a true crime, something like that, not just people talking about things.
Yeah.
But there is one that I watch, and it's about, I have a thing for addicts, don't I? Like, I care a lot about people who have addiction problems. And sometimes I find myself like arguing with the person on the
so that they
YouTube
can't hear
thing.
you, but you're
yeah,
like,
they can't hear me, but they're like, we shouldn't be handing, this is like maybe controversial, we shouldn't be handing out needles to drug addicts. And I'm like, in my head, this is in Kensington, Pennsylvania, I think they should be handing out needles, clean needles, because otherwise people are just going to pick up a needle off the ground and stick it into their arm. They're still going to be on drugs,
whether they're being
but
safely,
it's going to be safer,
whether they're safely getting it,
and
or not, they're still going to be doing
limiting the amount of disease that's being passed on, like HIV, AIDS, things like that,
but also
hepatitis.
Yeah, but also if or does it come from the government, you mean? If the government
it comes from charity, it does not come from...
Well, if that was provided to these people, they wouldn't have to sell their bodies, for example, to get those things.
No, I don't agree with making drugs legal. This is just for...
I'm not saying that.
Clean syringes.
No, that's not what I said. Just the needles. Like, someone could go up... I could be an addict going up to you saying, have you got spare needles? Like that. And you say, not unless you're going to make it worth my while. And then they're doing something they don't want to be doing. Because of
paying somebody for,
whereas if it was provided to them, it takes that whole danger risk away of getting it.
This is also specifically for, I don't know if anybody even knows what Kensington, Pennsylvania is, but it's a really bad drug area in America.
Is that the place that people call it like zombie land?
Yeah, because people are on fentanyl and
people bent over backwards and stuff.
It's really sad. And there are so many charities out there helping, and I don't find the needle exchange program to be a bad thing. I don't want these people to be on drugs, but regardless if there are clean needles or not, they're still going to be on drugs. Try to make it safer while implementing other
that's not
forms
the bit
of charity.
That's not the bit that they need to be trying to crack down on.
But I do think that's the safest thing that you can do to start to handle this situation.
Yeah.
But the person I was watching said that the needle exchange program was ridiculous, and I was like,
so the hill that you die on is
addicts don't choose to be addicts. They're just addicts.
Addicts are people too.
I
know, because we've had this conversation before, because I'm not aware of that world, but you are. And being honestly sheltered to that world, you grow up, TV, movies, what people say, if you see someone homeless, it's like they're like some nasty, horrible person, and they're a dirty, horrible, and all this, and they're labelled in a certain way.
Yeah.
Whereas that person may be there because their dad abused the hell out of them all through their life, and
sometimes too people do just make wrong decisions.
you don't know what their story is. You don't know what got them there.
Yeah.
And how badly they don't want to be in that position as well. Sometimes.
That's also like fresh in my mind because it's like my YouTube fix right now.
Yeah.
I'm watching that kind of stuff. But I think it's my question now.
Yeah, I'm just picking one so I don't have to hold a hat for ages.
I think it's my question. We could be wrong.
Yeah, because I asked the hill question.
Oh, this is actually the only one that we read out loud, because when I brought this question to you, I asked you the top one, and it was like, these were the questions will be like.
And I said, I don't really understand the question, but sounds like it could be fun. Go for it.
Yeah. If aliens landed right now and asked to speak to your manager, who are you sending? So I
said my manager, like from work, or like, because you said.
I changed it in my head to aliens have landed. For some reason, they think Dan is like vice president of the world.
Right.
And they want to speak to the president, and you need to convince that, like, you need a convincing person to put up as president who's going to speak to these aliens and basically tell them not to harm Earth. Who you put in?
Oh, it's so hard. It's so difficult. First of all, I don't know why they have come to me. They haven't gone to the White House, or they haven't found out who is the president. And
there's no president of the world.
No, that's what I was literally about to say. Why are we just basing it on the president of the United States?
I said president of the world.
Yeah. Because we're in the UK, so it would be like, I'd who's the prime minister, but my answer's an American. For some reason, the only name in my head is Denzel Washington. That's when you asked me earlier, like an hour ago. That's the only person, or The Rock, and I don't know why.
Because they're in alien movies.
No, I think because they're really good speakers.
The Rock.
He's captivating. He's the most electrifying man of all sports and entertainment. Anyway, no, Denzel Washington. I think because he's a very serious actor, but he's also fun. I think that he would.
Who do you think would be the worst person to put up? Famous person. Don't say like somebody that you know that nobody's going to know.
If Hitler was around, it'd be him, wouldn't it?
Yeah, because he practiced genocide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
I was going more for like celebrity, not like, I guess Hitler's a celebrity, but like not political celebrity.
He hasn't got his star on the Hall of Fame.
Actor, comedian, like I don't know who's the mime, the famous mime. He'd probably be a bad person.
Charlie Chaplin.
Yeah.
Why? Because
he's a mime.
He's not. He does have a voice. I know why.
But there are like mimes that don't talk.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. That would be probably not your best answer.
Or like Teller from Penn and Teller.
I don't know who that is.
It's the magicians. One of the guys doesn't speak.
Yeah.
In the act. He does have a voice. Yeah, maybe someone who's lost their voice.
Right. It's just trying to give an example of it doesn't have to be a hated person, just like somebody who you'd be like, it's probably not going to go over well because of the way that they are, not because that they're bad.
I want to move on.
Okay.
I want to move on from that question.
Fine.
If you were a kitchen appliance, what would you be and
blender?
Why?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's such a bad question. I had spatula in my head for some reason.
A toaster. I make things toasty. Just trying to think of anything. A freezer, like to chill. Sorry, go ahead. Sink.
Oh my god.
Sorry.
I'm trying to sink. I'm a sink.
Why?
Because I've got a hole.
No. Why are daisies fresh?
I don't know.
Why is that a phrase?
Sorry. You never see an old daisy.
I do.
Fuck those. I've never seen an old daisy.
Go look in the garden.
An old one. They're all like you mow the lawn. 2 days later, they're all there.
Yeah.
Mow the lawn again. They're all there again. So they're all brand new daisies.
Yeah, but like the ones on the motorway, the big ass tall ones, those are old daisies.
The massive ones.
I
didn't think they were daisies. I thought they look like giant daisies, but I thought they were like a proper flower.
They're just daisies.
How?
I'm pretty sure.
Do like the white petal bits, do they fall off and then it keeps growing and they grow them again?
Do not know.
Grow again?
I do not know the life cycle of a daisy, but
yeah, they're like
they are daisies.
They got like a 3-day life.
Because you can get a bouquet of daisies. It's not.
Can you?
Yeah, it's not just the little shrinky
If I
things.
got you a bouquet of daisy, but you cheap fucker,
I would absolutely love it if you did not buy me daisies. But if you stopped on the motorway and picked a handcrafted bouquet, obviously not from the motorway, but like that's where
of wildflowers.
Of wildflowers.
And then by the time we get home, they're dead.
No.
Yeah.
Don't kill them. Okay. Which celebrity do you irrationally believe that you could beat in a fight?
I don't believe I can beat anyone. I'm not that sort of.
Yeah, you're not that sort of dude.
But definitely good.
But okay, like that whole stupid boxing bullshit is going on. Who do you think you could take in that? Famous.
If I was like Misfits boxing, like the YouTube boxing. Yeah. It's hard to tell because everyone that's on that has like fully trained.
Yeah.
But so if I gave myself 6 months as well, without worrying about work and fully training for it, then yeah, I could probably. Jake Paul. No, I don't fucking know. I have no boxing experience at all, so I'd probably take somebody that's like my size, whoever like. Do you know what I mean? Because a lot of the creators on there, I've never heard of them before. I don't follow it anymore. Only when they started, so I can't even think of any people's name apart from like the Sidemen.
It had to be one of them.
Simon from the Sidemen, but like he's also not a fighter, so that's not like a big. Ethan.
I think I could take Katy Perry.
Okay. Ed Sheeran then.
Cool.
I could have Ed Sheeran.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to.
Same. I'd feel so bad about it. And yeah. I think that it'd end in tears for both of us. What's your most irrational fear that you're completely serious about?
Hitting my teeth on anything. I have such a fear. Like I can be brushing my teeth and like just picture a bird flying through the window and a glass hitting me in the face. I do. It's really strange.
Yeah.
But something hitting.
I was going to say that wasn't irrational because it's like you're protecting your teeth, but that's mental.
And like if we're on a roller coaster or something, I will always be biting my tongue. So
really?
So my teeth don't like. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've got things like that. And I think it's moving on to a little bit like OCD in a way. Like I used to be really bad as a kid where I would, if I turned a light on, I'd have to then turn it back off and then back on. So then it would equal up to like, when I turn it off again, it's turned on twice and it's turned off twice. Something like that. But then if it's already on, then I'm fucked because like if I need it off, I'm like, oh no, and like I need to switch it back on, and now it's an odd number. I just have things like that. So that's irrational stuff.
Move on to the next
another OCD thing, I guess. I don't know if I can call it OCD.
I don't know if you're meant to if you're not diagnosed.
No, but I've never gone to the doctors about it. But you know, when I say that, I'm not saying it as to be.
I know what you mean. I'm
not trying to be offensive.
Yeah, of course not.
Everyone has these weird. Well, I don't know if everyone, but a lot of people have these weird
rituals.
Things. Yeah, when I used to run a lot, I would like bite on my left side when I ran with my left foot, and on my right side, so which is like your worst nightmare. What you just said. But it literally like 5 minutes into it, and then I'd just clock that I'm like, why am I doing that? And it's really weird.
Yeah.
There's loads of things I do like that.
It's my turn.
I'd like to know if other people do that.
I don't. Not that I don't want to know. I'm saying.
Do you do anything like that? Like what I said about the light switches, or
nope.
If I go up the stairs and I am skipping a step, so going up in twos, I need to start on the bottom step first. Because there's 13 steps, so then the last one will be on the floor, on the top step. Otherwise, you finish it on one step, and it's agonising. Then
nope, I don't do that.
None of these things.
No, I don't.
Like nothing. No weird things. I got OCD.
I don't. I can't think of anything that I do.
Do you think that I should probably find out if I got OCD? Because I definitely do so many things like this.
I do think that you probably have. I wouldn't say that you have severe OCD, but I would guess that you have a mild OCD with things because you are like that.
Or ADD, definitely.
Yeah.
It's the attention, isn't it?
Yeah.
The attention, yeah.
Okay. What's the dumbest way you've injured yourself?
The only time I broke a bone was my knuckle punching. And it wasn't punching somebody. I've never punched anyone in my life. Losing Not about you. No, losing FIFA to my brother when I was, I would have been 14. It was like near the end of school, year 10 or 11. And he was an asshole though. Like I could be all over him, should be winning, and then he'd be lucky and he'd be like, and wind me up. Mm-hmm. And I was such a fucking dick. And I punched the floor, but his room was such a mess that the only bit of carpet I could see was like a bit of a reach. And then I hit it on the side and I cracked my knuckle. So I broke my hand from punching the floor. So that's dumb.
That is dumb.
Have you got a dumb thing, or should we move to the next question? Dumb way you injured yourself.
I mean, maybe when I was a kid. We used to do obstacle courses, and I don't want this to come across as like I was mean or like anything, but you know, when you're a kid, and there's usually when you have a friendship group, there's one person that's the leader. Yeah. I was that person, but it was because this friendship group, this specific one, not with my main friendship group, but it was the person that my dad was dating, her children
Right.
And they were younger.
Okay.
So like that's why I was the leader.
I was going to make a joke that because they were all younger than you. But
yeah.
Because like in another episode you said about how you were so shy and you weren't cool.
Yeah, it wasn't. So it was literally only because I was the oldest.
They were 3 and you were 12.
No. Not that much older. So we did an obstacle course in my dad's ex-girlfriend in her backyard.
Yeah.
And it was about like being the person who could like jump the farthest or swing the farthest, that kind of thing. And
so what did you do to injure yourself?
I made an impossible obstacle, and I can't remember I think it was jumping, but we put out like wood that was wet. So when I went to jump, I could do the jump because I was the oldest, so I was the tallest. I knew that the little kids couldn't do it. They weren't little, but it was wet, so I slipped, and I have a huge scar on my leg because of it.
Where? Which one?
I can't even remember, but it's like right here by my knees. I'll show it to you later. I can't show you because the mic's in the way.
You've never told me about that before.
Yeah.
Married her. Didn't even know that.
Not a big story.
Made it to the pod though. Was that my question or yours?
That was my question. Yeah.
Oh yeah, because then
that's why I'm holding on to them.
So threw it back to you then, didn't I? Yes. We've got a couple more, and then we'll finish it off.
Yeah, we'll just get through them. Let's rapid fire. Yeah.
Speed round. All right. Describe your dream pet, and it cannot be a real animal.
Something that has the temperament of a dog, but like is fluffy, but it has to be like really, really big.
Okay.
And it would be Ginger. Don't really care what it looks like.
Could this be like a cartoon thing? So it's not real, but it's something you've seen.
No, because my head is going like towards Great Dane because that's what I want. But I want a ginger one, and I don't think they make those.
I don't think they make them.
I don't think Great Danes make those. But it doesn't need to look like a Great Dane. It could look like dog-like temperament.
Yeah.
Just really big. I like big.
Mine would be like Pikachu or Squirtle.
Yeah.
Like a Pokemon.
Yeah.
But not a terribly scary one.
You've just been cancelled. What did you allegedly do? You have to remember to give me
I released this podcast. No. I've been cancelled. Saying controversial opinions or something like that, maybe. As we've done an episode, I've said some controversial things from AI, and then people thought that I was the one that had those opinions.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I don't even think it would be any of your opinions. I feel like
but that's what I mean.
Like a joke would be misinterpreted or something.
Yeah, a TikTok went viral and everyone hates me.
Yeah, fair. Go.
All right. So you've got all the controversial ones. What's a controversial food opinion that might get you cancelled?
American bacon is far more superior than British bacon. That's mine.
All right, fair enough. I'm not even going to argue it there.
How did you get started in your very questionable line of work? What?
My dad gave me the job. And I still question myself every day while I'm still doing it.
Sorry.
What's the weirdest compliment you've ever received? Someone said I look like Ed Sheeran on a date. And I was like, I look nothing like him. Nothing.
I don't remember.
I forgot to tell you. When I was working the other day, I'm not going to say where, but
okay.
Somebody came out who was a bit odd looking because of, I'm not allowed to say because of vetting and stuff, but they came out of there as like a customer, if you know what I mean.
Yes, Dan, stop asking. Like you're making it more obvious of what it is.
Very strange elderly lady who looked a bit odd and stuff, and she was like, James, and my name's not James, so I didn't turn around. I'm just talking to Darren from work. James? I'm like, where's James? I turn around and I look at her. She's like, oh my god, you're not James. I was like, no, I'm not. You look just like my grandson. Stay right there. She went back in, brought her husband out. Doesn't he look like James? Looks just like James. Oh yeah, you look like James. I'm like, who's James? Yeah, it's just really.
Did you ever see James?
No, it's their grandson.
Yeah.
But apparently I look just like a guy in Cornwall.
I thought she was looking for James because he was there, not because.
No, she was baffled why her grandson would be there.
Right.
But
should ask for a picture.
But I found out that I look like somebody. Well, they seem like they're off their heads.
It's not a compliment. This is a Facebook post that I made back when I was working in some hospital. Don't remember what one. But it was, I went into the reception room, so it was definitely seeing patients and stuff. And a woman genuinely complimented me, like said that I looked like some celebrity I had never heard of. And she was like, "You're so pretty." And I was like, "Oh, thank you." And then I left that room. This is not really anything to do with this question, but it's what popped into my head. And then I walked the patient to the room, and then I left. And then I was in like the little employee only area, and it was so hot and my armpits were sweating. So I was taking tissues and shoving them into my armpits, and another patient walked by, and I can't remember what she said. It wasn't an insult, but she like made fun of me a little bit. And that's what I thought of. I got a very nice compliment. And then 4 seconds later, somebody caught me stuffing tissues in my armpits. Describe your personality using only snacks.
Oh, that's tough.
Come on.
Smiley faces.
Snacks.
Yeah.
What was that?
Yeah.
No, smiley faces.
What do you mean? You know, like, you know what you gave the kids today with the letters?
Yeah.
But
the potato things.
Potato smiley.
Okay.
Potato smileys.
Yeah.
But they're not a snack.
That's fine. That's a good one.
I meant like if they... what are they? There's smiley face crisps, you know, the little Pom Bears. The Pom Bear.
That's you.
Yeah, that and a Mars bar. Don't know why. That's what I want right now.
I'd say I'm something like a raspberry cheesecake, a little bit tart.
You're a tart. On a scale from 1 to completely feral, how are you doing today?
About 7. I don't know. I wouldn't say I'm completely feral. I'm inside, right? If you were a ghost, what petty things would you do to haunt people?
Pick their phone up and do a selfie. So, if they went to show somebody, look, some like it was picked up.
A picture of a room.
It looks like they've just shown the room.
Yeah.
Or I'd film the back of them. So it's a floating phone filming the back of them, and if they went, "We didn't do this," I swear, the other people would be like, "Well, you obviously had your mate filming you."
Yeah.
That's what I'd do. What's your villain origin story?
My real one.
Villain.
But it would have, I don't know, but my mentality was different. I feel like I have a decent villain childhood.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's...
But my mentality has stopped me from being villainous.
Yeah. All right, last question of the podcast.
What's your backup plan if the whole being a functioning adult thing doesn't work out?
OnlyFans.
There is no plan B. You have to be an adult when you have kids.
Yeah.
There's no plan B. If one thing doesn't work, you just go on to the next functioning adult thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
What was your favorite question?
I can't remember any of them. It's gone so fast.
I did like that petty ghost one. I know we just read it, so it's still in my head. But I did.
No, I think there's going to be some good ones in there. And what I'm trying to do a lot more is make some shorts and TikToks and stuff to put out there. So I think that this is going to be a good episode where I can get a good amount of snippets. So yeah, if you're on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, that's where I mainly post these. But full episodes are on YouTube with video, and then they're everywhere else, Apple Music, Amazon, and all that, but only audio. But thank you everyone for listening. Thank you for planning this. This is actually really fun. Thanks everyone for listening, and until next time,
see you after bedtime.
I'm gonna get rid of that. I really don't like it.
I do.
Really don't like it.
I do.
All right. Bye everyone.
See you after bedtime. See you in your dreams.